Hello, hello, and let's hope that third time's the charm. Trying to record this final card reading of the year. Um, I will be back early in 2025, but this reading is going to cover the space from then until now. We have just finished that full moon. We're still kind of in the portal of Gemini full moon. Mercury has just stationed direct, however, he will be in his shadow for the rest of this year. Mars is still retrograde and just lots going on in the heavens right now. Siberian fir brings in that Christmas tree vibe, past tense, because the retrogrades always make us reflect on what has been, and frankincense also was a gift to baby Jesus. Doesn't matter what you follow, it is a beautiful, beautiful oil. It is the king of oils, in fact. So remember that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. I am putting in my Instagram post, so if you're finding this on YouTube, please go check out the Instagram post. I will try and link it below if that's something that I can do. Please go check out my special offers, my Christmas gifting offers that are available, discounted rates on my various offerings, and that includes card readings. So go check that out on my Instagram or on the link below this video if that works out for me. And remember that you can pick your card number between 1 and 4 just to give you your extra slightly more personalized version of this reading. However, it isn't a personal reading. If you've had a personal reading, you will know the difference. And let's jump in to see what the rest of the year holds for us. So for me, this is a lot more of a theme that has just been so very, very present. The kind of hurry up and wait, the ebb and flow. You know, we're on a high, we're going, and then, oh my God, retraction, contraction, fear, anxiety, overwhelm. So we start this reading with the Nine of Wands, which is a fiery card. It is near the end of a cycle. You can see the sort of defiance in her stance. She's got her boundaries up. It's taken something to get to this point. She didn't just get to the 9 without going through all the numbers that come before 9. So basically she is having that final stand, and I feel like this is really beautiful for a reading that takes us to the end of 2024, because 2024 has had a lot of turbulence, a lot of highs and lows. If I'm going to be honest, 25 and 26 are probably going to be even more so. So it's like we're ready to end 24, but we also understand that 25 is going to bring its own stuff. Highs and lows, remember? But here she is with this like, right, I've built myself a boundary line this far and no further. And there's a level of defiance in her stance. And also like almost like stubborn resilience to get to the next stage, level 2025. So let's see how that goes for us. I also feel like at this time of year, when there's lots of family gatherings and people get really triggered back into old patterns from, early childhood even. And of course, that is even more so with the retrograde season that we've had at this time of year. So we're still feeling that Mercury retrograde, and will continue to whilst we're going through the shadow for the next 3 weeks. And that Mars retrograde is taking us on for a good while still into the new year. First few months into the new year. He only stations direct late February, but then he has his few months of shadow period. So we're really going to be feeling that. So as we experience this kind of like defiant push through the old patterning, the old traumas, the old toxicity, this is a really good thing for us to put up a boundary for, and also to find a level of resilience through to the next level. Like, what do I really need to take forward of this? Do I want to do this same pattern for the rest of my life? Is anybody winning if we carry on having the same argument every year with siblings or cousins or whatever it is? But then, so I still feel like this has quite a positive sort of strength to it, where we still feel like I've got this. But then the next two cards are like, oh, do I have this? I'm not sure I have this. The Death Rebirth card is our Major Arcana card of this reading, the only one of this reading. And you can see there's trees on the bottom here, and there's trees through the hood, through into the new rebirth. They're the same trees. You're going to be the same you, but you get to choose how you respond to life. Like, do you let yourself shine like the trees in the hood, or do you try to shrink away into the forest? How do you want to be when you break the patterns? Now, upside down, we are still very fearful of how to let go of these patterns, how to step into that thing, how to let the pattern die. I mean, this is about really the short version is, how do I die to the patterning that I have been conditioned into through my family of origin, through society, through all of those things? How do I let it go? Because of course there's a lot of fear around letting things go if it's the thing that we've known. It's the comfort zone. And remember, there's no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone. So get uncomfortable as you, or certainly expect to be uncomfortable as you break patterns. It's meant to be uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, you're doing it right. But then also feeling in your body, letting your body tell you, is this impacting me negatively? And so notice that in the patterning. This is something that happens every year around this time of year. Me and this person have this issue every year. How come I'm feeling so tight in my jaw? How come I'm feeling this level of resistance in my body? Okay, this is a pattern that isn't good for me. My body is telling me now I have to say something different or do something different. And maybe that's say nothing at all. Maybe instead of engaging in the argument, or maybe it's saying how you really feel. It's going to be different for each of us in each situation. It's challenging. And it's something that if you were talking to a friend and they told you that story, you would want to say, just say this or just do that. And it would be so easy for the friend. But when you're stuck in a pattern, even if intellectually you might know that all you should do is say or do this, the saying and doing of it in that situation, when it is a very ingrained pattern, is a whole other story. Simple, not easy. Okay, then we have the Six of Swords, also upside down, and this is again, it's a similar. It's a more personalized level in some ways of that death message, because here it's like, I'm overburdened. I'm struggling with all the things that I've been carrying. I know I need to walk away from this pattern, from this relationship, from this job, from this situation, but I don't know how to do it. Maybe it doesn't feel like it fits the way I see myself. Maybe the good girl wouldn't do that, or the good wife, or the good mother, or the good daughter, or the good whatever. That version of me would never do that, would never say that. And so there's a resistance. And if this card is the right way up, which is obviously how we want to turn it, it's like, I understand I have to climb aboard and move to another shore. Again, it's an unknown space that's going to make me uncomfortable. I don't know where I'm going, but I do know what I'm leaving behind. And some of what I'm leaving behind, because it's so familiar, my brain, and this is a swords card, it's air, it's thinking, my brain would prefer the familiar, even if it's not good for me. So again, listen to what your body and your heart are telling you, because our brains will default to, what do I know? And even if it's bad, I know it, so I'll stick with that. And again, this card, it's like she's being pulled by 3 ravens and 3 are flying off. You never know where your allies come from. But resisting getting on the boat, even though you know it's the thing to do, resisting allowing a part of yourself to die, to break that pattern, that's not going to make it easier. It's just going to prolong the inevitable, right? So that very much the middle part of this reading is now coming off this, I've got that, into, oh my God, I don't know how I've got that. But the promise of the final card is so fantastic, because it's the 9 of Cups. So we start and end with 9s. And the 9 of Cups is a very lucky card. It basically is saying your dreams are coming true, you have found the treasures, and look how it's radiating from the heart. So it's not from a head place, it's from a heart place. Cups is a water card. Cups is emotion. I have been able to achieve things through the space of my heart. I have received the abundance of my heart. And heart means I feel connected to love, to peace, to hope, to compassion, to grace,
to flow, trust, surrender, think watery things, and allowing. You see, there's a very open stance to her body, allowing that reception. And then this feeling of floating up. So from being in the depths of despair to floating up. And I mean, interestingly, because there's a bit of despair here, especially in this one, there's a bit of grief and struggle and resistance, and then the surrender, the opening, the allowing myself to float up, and also recognizing the treasures that I found in the depths. I had to go to that place. I had to dive deep. I had to dig in. And then I found the treasures. And then sometimes what happens is you realize that the things you've been holding on to, the comfort zones, those were not the things that actually meant the most to you. And this is where retrogrades are actually a real gift, even though they don't always feel like it when you're in it. They're a real gift of reflection and going backwards in time, going back to look at where did that ideal, where did that idea, where did that moral compass, where did that belief system, where did that all come from? And is it mine, or did I just inherit it? Did I just believe that this was the thing because everybody in my family for generations has believed that? And is that still true for me? Because times are changing, and they're changing fast. And it's okay for us to change with them. In fact, it's inevitable. In fact, it's imperative that we change with the times. And that's not an easy thing to do. This is a crazy time in history. Our grandchildren and great-grandchildren will look back at this time and think, wow, that was a crazy thing that our family had to go through, our ancestors. And we are the ancestors of the future. What ancestry, what legacy do you want to leave behind? One that perpetuates things that are not good, or one that had the courage in spite of the discomfort and the adversity to change that? And I know which one I want to be, but that doesn't make the reality of living through it easier. And this is where I send you all so much love, and I wish you all the blessings as we see out this new year, this beautiful year of 2024, with grace and gratitude, and really getting some focus on what you want to push forward into your liminal, dream-like birth canal gestation period that is going to be 2025. We won't see what we are creating, but we need to be quite conscious in how we are intending to create something next year, even though we won't probably see the results of that work whilst we're still in the womb, so to speak. So I'm sending you much, much love and light, and thank you for all your likes, shares, follows, subscribes, and all of your support through 2024. I look forward to journeying with you into 2025 and beyond.